Hey everybody, this is the Lucky TJ at Livingmetaphysically, and I just want to talk about a couple of things, so I'm not going to look, hello. I've been taking some time. I was talking to my best friend today, talking about how much more free I feel, that I love myself so much more, and being in the present moment is really fun for me, and understanding that I'm okay in the world. Like, I have a right to be here. I have a right to look how I look. I have a right to feel how I feel, choose the clothes I choose. I don't have to please anybody else. So, I think that there's a lot of value. I think that it's important for people to look at themselves and ask themselves, how did they even start being where they are? Because I think that when a person doesn't do that, then they may be suffering and living a worse life than what they would be living if they actually were. For example, I was just driving. I'm going to give you a good example here. I was just driving, and a guy on a bicycle, rode coming in the facing direction, and I looked at him and I thought, wow, look at his legs, because they were shaped in like the diamond kind of pattern around the calf. It had really quote unquote nice calves, and in my mind I could hear myself say, wow, those are the kind of legs I always want. That's the kind of legs I want. That's what I wanted to have. That's what I always wanted to have. And it occurs, and right then the question that I need to ask myself is, why? Why do I think that? Why do I think that those kind of looking those legs look better, or best, are the best, better than mine? And when I am comparing that and thinking those types of things, what exactly am I telling myself? Like, where's my own self-worth? Where's my self-esteem if I'm saying that, well, his legs are what I want? Am I putting myself down because my legs are shaped like kind of typically African American, kind of flattish in the calf? So I think that unconsciously, for me to tell myself that something's not great about my own legs, to compare myself with somebody else's legs, like, ooh, I want that kind of legs. That's the kind of legs I always wanted. I think it's damaging to my self-esteem. Like, where's my self-esteem in this case? Where's my self-value? Where is my self-worth? These are important because parts of a person's self-worth and self-esteem and self-value can leak out via thoughts and feelings like this constantly. So if a person isn't careful, then they're going to not feel as good about themselves as they could. And feeling good about oneself is awesome. It's like, my legs are perfect as they are. My body is perfect as it is, as I am created. And I think about so many people who are suffering in some sort of way because they have bought into the idea that something's wrong with how they are, their looks. Like, something's wrong with my hair because see how it's all kinky? Because it isn't straight. or it isn't curlier, or it isn't because I have gray hair in mixed in. It's not black, it's not dyed, or something's wrong with my choice of clothes because I have on a shirt and it looks like your version of something that you don't want me to look like, a woman, your version of what women should be like. For example, another example comes to mind, speaking of that one, where a person told me, so I was dressed, I sing in a quartet, and I had on a quartet, we wear matching clothes. There's 4 of us, we wear matching clothes when we sing as a performance, and people walk around in events that, in the matching clothes. Okay, so I go along with it, it's okay. And the tops that we had were these feminine looking, girly, with the shoulder out here and swooping neck and all that kind of stuff. And a person says to me, wow, you should wear sexy stuff more often. And my immediate thought was that the person's version of sexy in that person's mind, like, where did they even get that version? Where did they get that definition from? Where did they get that idea of this is sexy and that something else isn't sexy? And do they even know where they got it from? Because I think it's important that people find out where they got the definition of what they're calling anything, so that they know where they got it from and how they use that to tell other people that if you don't match up to some definition in their head, something's either not good about you or not as great. It's like, I told that person that I don't go along with the cultural definitions of anything, and because they're unexamined. So why should I change my body, my appearance, my clothes, how I look, how I dress, how I talk, to match up and meet with somebody's opinion when they have never even examined where they got their opinion from? So I should be looking sexy according to some idea that you picked up from where? A movie, a TV show, some sort of thing like that. And I can't live up to other people's, I'm not going to try, but I'm not out here to live up to what your version of sexy is. First of all, who am I supposed to be being sexy for? I certainly wasn't being sexy for this particular person. She's a woman who is married, just a regular, straight, white person who is bothering to tell me this thing out of the love in her heart and everything, because she's cool. She's a good person. I've known this person. I've been to her parties, and she's always treated me great on Facebook, etc. But my point is not so much of disliking her or her disliking me, but it's our culture and the lack of examination that people have in their beliefs and their opinions, and then they apply these to themselves and to other people and have this as a standard. And so, for me, it doesn't kill me or hurt my feelings that people think whatever they're thinking, because I'm free from that. But I think it's killing young people who don't have any development. I think that it's really harming people in general, particularly African Americans. I think it harms people when people are unable to for lack of a better word, if people, I think it harms people in the self-esteem category. And I think that it's so unconscious and that we're so used to it, and that people are suffering and they don't know why they have this margin of hate for themselves, or more, or uncontentment, or dissatisfaction, or they don't approve of themselves. Like, I have a lot of observations about life, and it basically just comes from unplugging from what other people think is just your normal stuff, like the influence of TV, movies. I'm not gonna, I've been taking a break from that on purpose. I'm not out here to worship celebrities. Now, please don't get me wrong. I used to do all of these things. I used to love celebrities, models. I wanted to be all these things, famous, a celebrity. I mean, I have some talent, of course. I sing, I write music, I do art. But it's really not about that so much. It's more of really me knowing now that I'm free from some of the, like, okay, so I feel so happy to be who I am now. That's what's fun. To be happy, to be who I am, to be who I am. I'm able to be who I am now. Like, I don't have to be that lady, or, like driving a certain car doesn't have to make me feel important, or me knowing that a certain person, like telling stories like, oh wow. So I remember years ago, if I saw a celebrity, and then that celebrity and I was sitting in the same restaurant or something like that, I'd go and tell my friends, I was in the restaurant and guess it was there, it was so and so. Well, does that, when I really think about it, how is having another person who's a celebrity who sits at a table 2 tables away from mine, how does it make my life better? It really doesn't. And that's what I mean. It's like, are any of these things that people are holding up as being so fabulous really making your life better? Is really making my life better? Because I know that a celebrity being near me, unless they are a friend of mine and we share some kind of like-mindedness and conversation, or whatever it is that goes on with myself and my friends, that person has nothing to do with me, and I really don't have anything to do with them. And I'm not necessarily I don't want to be influenced by by them existing in the world, or what they think or what they feel necessarily. Anyway, not to go on and on and on, but I did want to make a video because I think that I want you, if you're listening, to ask yourself some questions about what's important to you, and whether or not you're on a path to actually having the life that you want to live. Are you on a path of loving yourself as you are, accepting yourself as you are, celebrating life, being in the moment, having a lot of fun, being who you are? Like, do you know who you are? Or are you discovering who you are? Or are you being a robot programmed to do everything that everybody else does? Everything in life that other people do, that we see out here in this world, is not necessarily something that you would do on your own. You may not know what you might do if you took away the influence of what other people are expressing. You might be anything, and it might be better without these inputs. So anyway, that's what I have to say. My motto is question everything. And I mean everything, because I think it can help you to free yourself. And if everybody were free in this world, I think that we would be a more loving and peaceful and cooperative group of human beings. That's what I want to see in the world. So with that, I shall wish you for increased, expanded awareness, as much of it as you want. All right, peace out.